Now that the news has broken that FM24 will be in all of our lives a little bit longer, many seasoned Football Manager veterans may be looking out for a way of injecting more challenge and difficulty into their save. But how exactly might we go about that? Well, we'll show you how you can do just that in this video. In the heyday of the sports interactive message boards, there was a section devoted to llamas. Not the lovable inhabitant of South America, but people that played FM using the lower league manager style of play, or llamas as they became known. Llamas adopted a set of guidelines when playing the game to make it more realistic and certainly more demanding. The first key principle is that you take charge of a club in one of the bottom playable divisions of whatever nation you're managing in. The rationale being that it's more realistic that a new manager begins their career in the basement of the game than at an elite club. The next key principle is implemented when setting up your game, and that is the use of attribute masking. After all, how realistic is it that a football manager would instantly know that the 17-year-old Ecuadorian winger that they found has acceleration of 18 and a fairly professional personality? Playing as a llama relies more on scouting, and if you want to know more about a player, assign a scout to watch them, or invite them for a trial so your coaches can assess them. In fact, even finding the players in the first place is largely done through setting up scouting assignments, rather than using the player search function that may not realistically be available to lower league managers in real life. And a similar system is used when recruiting staff, where rather than use the staff search screen, adverts are placed and the best candidate that applies is hired. Another restriction lower league managers use is applied when creating their manager. They select coaching badges and playing experience based on their own real life. So if you're a UEFA Pro licensed coach who's played international football, great, implement that in your game. However, if you're more used to couches than coaching, and if the highest level of the game you've ever reached was a substitute appearance for the Fox and Weasel second 11, then create your manager accordingly. Even that will make success harder to achieve. Llamas obviously don't reload the game after a defeat, or when their new striker gets injured 8 minutes into their debut, or when they don't like the cup draw that they've been handed. Poor form, injuries and defeats make the game more difficult and make dismissal more likely, but the sack is to be embraced, not feared, and is worn as a badge of honour. Llamas are also quite strict when it comes to downloads that are added to Football Manager. Kits, face packs, real name fixes, they're all considered fair game, but downloading somebody else's tactics is prohibited, as is acquiring other people's training schedules. Instead, Llamas prefer to build their own tactics even if they are unsuccessful at first, and try and tweak them and improve them as their game develops. Even skins can be used that give you an unfair advantage if they are ones that reveal hidden attributes or display players' current and potential ability. And any third-party tools that reveal this information are off limits. In real life, not even the greatest judge of talent will know how good a player might go on to be. Another area llamas avoid is match engine exploits. Is everybody making videos about 4-2-3-1 gegenpresses that are overpowered? Well, find another way to win. Short corners are working every time? Fine, don't use them. Long throws producing 30 goals a season for your centre-back? Find another way to win. This might make the game more difficult, but in real life there is no match engine to exploit. Now, if this doesn't already make the game difficult enough, many llamas add in another restriction to their save. One that can take your save from challenging to downright impossible, and that is to add in a maximum distance that you can sign players from when managing a semi-professional club. The rationale is that most semi-pro sides sign players from the local area, as they're working during the day and travelling distances can't be too far. So lots of llamas use the 60-minute rule, only signing players that were born within 60 minutes commute of the club they're managing, or whose last club were within 60 minutes away. Now, whilst at big city clubs this still gives you a large pool of players to choose from, at more remote destinations it can make transfers far more complex. But for llamas, that's where we find the fun. It isn't about the winning, and trust me, it's really not been about the winning. And it's not about the accumulation of trophies, it's about the struggle, about taking on a challenge that really tests you, and at some points may even feel unachievable. But it's about pitting your managerial wits against the restrictions you've imposed, all in the hope that one day you might win a game. Of course, the Llama way of playing Football Manager won't be to everybody's taste, and we should never let anybody devalue the way that we choose to enjoy the game. But if you are looking to make things more difficult, this might be a way that you enjoy. And if you're interested in learning more about the LLM style of playing Football Manager, why not check out the 9 Llamas website that is full of information for would-be llamas.